My name is Rory McAllister and I'll be your commentator. Delighted to be here in such a pleasant setting. So much history surrounding this shotgun range. So many medals, so many competitions and titles have been won here. There are just too many to mention. In terms of the conditions, well, it's looking pretty perfect for shotgun at the moment. Clear blue skies, highs of around 31 degrees Celsius at the moment. There is a little bit of wind around, but not too much, I think, to affect the clays today. I'm just looking out over the shotgun range, and in terms of the trees in the distance, as you can see there's hardly any movement at all. So Osijek, the fourth largest city in Croatia. The name Osijek coming after the English word of ebb tide, meaning that it shouldn't flood with the River Drava going right the way through it. So here's some technical information before we get started for this shotgun skeet final. Welcome along if you are just joining us. These are the conditions we will be shooting under today. So the cartridge shot weight up to 24.5 grams. Everything has been measured and weighed and everything boxed up, and we'll get underway in a few moments' time. There's a typical example of one of the shotguns. We are using 12 gauge caliber and maximum weight of 4 kilos. I urge you to give shotgun a go. It's something I tried when I was a child back in the hills of England in Berkshire, at the same county where Abba Rutter comes from. She's in this final too as well, also along with the world champion and the qualification world record holder Danka Bartakova of Slovakia, and some very familiar other names in that final alongside Amber Rutter. Diana Bacozzi of Italy, alongside fellow Italian Martina Bartolome, and Nele Wismar of Germany, who has already bagged the quota place for Paris 2024, and Monika Stibrava of Slovakia, the second Slovakian athlete in this final. So 2 from Italy, 2 from Slovakia, Germany and Great Britain make up the rest of the lineup. So I can see the athletes are just in the preparation area, just behind the scoreboard, off to my right. I'm just off to the right of station 5. Indoors as well today, which makes a difference, because many times with shotgun finals, I've been outside to witness all of the action. So if you are just joining us on the European Shooting Confederation YouTube channel, then welcome along. The skeet final for women is about to begin. Just looking over at the jury, they're making the final preparations. So in terms of the athletes for this final, well, certainly lots of experience and lots of medals right the way across the board. Nele Wismar of Germany already finds herself with a quota place, just purely based not only on the qualification system earlier today, but also because the other athletes that are in the final already have quota places for themselves or for their countries. And it was hotly contested as well in qualifying. It was very, very close. It just shows how competitive it's becoming in terms of actually getting into finals, because just each and every year the athletes just get better and better and better with those high scores. Lots of ties, lots of shoot-offs in order to make the final today. So we do know already that the quota place has already been awarded to Nele Wismar, 26 years old now, of Germany. Had a quick chat with her a few moments ago. Absolutely delighted to be heading off to Châteauroux at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games next summer. Amazing to think as well that the Olympics is just such a short time away now. Well under a year to go before it all starts on the 26th of July in 2024. And at least now we're back into Olympic years, with the delay of COVID haltering Tokyo from 2020 through to 2021. So the athletes just making their way out onto the shotgun range. There is Amber Rutter, just of Great Britain, just adjusting her ear defenders and earbuds. And there'll be a test fire in just a few seconds before we get underway. So that's Danka Bartakova, He's clearly just signalling out to the jury and refs about something. Just looking out the window here just to see what's going on. And it looks like it's some sort of flag. There we go. That hadn't been inserted properly. So I think now everything's about to get underway. I think the announcer is just going over with the audience in terms of what's going to happen. And this will just give the athletes just some time to get settled in. It's been a long day already of qualification, also with yesterday as well. This is the first of two finals coming up. Skeet women first, and then the Skeet men's final will follow. And then tomorrow and Wednesday we have other mixed team and team events to come for you. Then there'll be a 2-day break. There will be competitions taking place, but no finals on Thursday and Friday. And there's 26-year-old Amber Rutter, formerly Amber Hill. So we have 2 Italians in this final, 2 Slovakians, 1 from Great Britain and 1 from Germany. So if you are just joining us, welcome along. We're live on the European Shotgun Confederation YouTube channel. And Danka Bartakova, who not only is the world champion, also qualification world record holder. And just showing one of her many medals there. There's literally too many to mention, but certainly back in the Olympics with a bronze medal in 2012 years ago. Amazing to think now that's already 12 summers ago. And then there was that terrific performance from Danka in Baku a few weeks ago at the World Championships to take the gold medal. So you can just see the way in skeet finals as well that the shotgun needs to be lowered down towards your hip before you actually then take your fire. In trap, you're able to raise the shotgun and actually aim before you actually take your shot. So each athlete now just taking their test fire in order. So Danka Bartakova went first, and now it's Amber Rutter of Great Britain. Again, a gold medal from Larnaca, but that's just one of many medals won by Amber over the years. Dania Bakosi, now 40 years old, was the gold medalist at the Rio Olympics. Also has 3 gold medal world championships to her name. I mean, in terms of medals in a final like this, it would be incredible to actually add them all up between all 6 athletes. I think it would take a lorry to fill it all up. Here's Martina Bartolome of Italy, silver medalist in the ISSF President's Cup. Again, more medals than that to mention. European Championship silver and bronze medalist. And here's Nele Wismar of Germany, already having a quota place now for the Paris Olympics. And that was awarded earlier because of the way qualification finished, and it was really, really tight as well. It was such a stiff competition, so many high scores, lots of shoot-offs in order to separate them, and that happened not only in this women's final but also for the men as well. And then Monika Stebrava, the second of the Slovakian athletes to start this final. So that's the test fire complete, and now the athletes will just make their way off to the side and back to the preparation area. And then the announcer will get underway with the official presentation for this skeet women's final here at the European Shotgun Championships. So if you are just joining us, many thanks for doing so on the European Shooting Confederation YouTube channel. Easiest way to keep up with everything that's going on here in Oshek at the European Championship Shotgun is just go to the European Shooting Confederation website. There's a banner there as well that will take you straight to our YouTube channel. So far though, we've had a great time. Weather's been fantastic here in Oshek in this very, very historic shotgun range. And I believe it was first used back, I think it was for the European Championships back in 1984. For those of you who are old enough perhaps to remember all that way back. And you just walk around the range and you can just see the elements of history and everything significant that's happened here in Oshek. But there you have it, great shot of the range, lovely weather, clear blue skies. There's not too much humidity either. I mean, it's just very hot, but it's quite dry. And in terms of wind, hardly any at all, and perfect conditions for shotgun shooting. So the introductions now are underway. Wearing bib number 1, just giving the crowd a quick wave, representing Slovakia, Danka Bartakova, the current world champion. And here comes Amber Rutter. He got married a few years ago now. And became Amber Rutter from the former Amber Hill, where she also won so many medals. Now 26 years old. And Amber grew up just down the road from me. It was East Berkshire, the county of Berkshire in England, where we're both from. And representing Italy, wearing bib number 3, Dania Bacozzi, now 40 years old, the Rio Olympic gold medalist. Wearing bib number 4, Martina Bartolome of Italy, the second Italian to feature in this final. European Championship silver and bronze medalist. And Nele Wismar of Germany, already now with a quota place. That was all settled because of qualification and the fact that the other athletes already had their quota places. And Monika Stibrava of Slovakia, now 34 years old, is the final athlete to make it out to the field of play. Coach is shaking hands, and it looks like we're about to get underway. So settle in, enjoy this one. As far as who I think is going to win, it's too close to call. There's Christophe Bush, who's the jury in charge, representing France. And our shotgun referee is Alkis Kistidis of Cyprus. So wherever you're joining us around the world, the local time here in Oshek just coming up to 3:20 p.m. And that's how it lines up. Bartakova of Slovakia wearing bib number 1, Rutter of Great Britain in 2, Bacozzi of Italy in 3, Bartolome of Italy wearing bib number 4, Wismar of Germany in bib number 5, and Stibrava of Slovakia wearing bib number 6. So first visit to station number 3 as we get underway. Thumbs up from the world champion, Bartakova. Stefan Zenko, who's the Slovakian coach. And Bacozzi opens up with 2 hits. There's Pierre Moen, the great British coach. So a solid 4 hits out of 4 for Bartakova. Exactly what you'd expect from the world champion. Andrea Benelli, ever present with sunglasses. And always looks so chilled and relaxed. Amber Rutter for Great Britain opens up with 2 hits. So this will be the reverse. And she nails those two as well. So perfect score for the first two. So Bokosi also with a 4 out of 4. Bartolome with 2 hits on those first two. Now the reverse. And once again, it's 4 out of 4. Axel Klemer, the German coach, who already knows it's been a good day because here is Visma, who already has a quota place for the Olympics next summer and starts with 2 out of 2. Oh, and misses that 4th target. So one hit, 1 miss, and that means there's a total of 3. Bravo, was that 1 miss? Yeah, heard the beep. But finishes her visit station 3 with 2 hits. So 2 athletes on 3, the rest on 4. We'll now move to 2 shots for each athlete, and it'll be the world champion who's first to step up. So if you are just joining us for this Skeet Women's final here at the European Championships in Osijek, it's 4 out of 4 so far for Bartikova, also 4 out of 4 for Amber Rutter and for Diana Bokosi and Bartolome. Visma and Stebrava both on 3. So 2 possible targets and 2 hits. And can Amber Rutter now keep the pressure on Bartikova? Does so, makes it look so easy. 2 solid hits for Amber. Barkosi with a decent solid 2 hits. And Bartolome also, just with a bit of a gap in between those two, but once again world class and turns those clays into dust. Visma this time with 2 hits, so that'll make up for the miss earlier. So she's up to 5. So pressure on Stebrava now. I've often thought going last at this stage is, personally for me, I'd much rather be going before the others. So one miss, and the ref just signalling that with one finger up in the air to signal the miss. So now the first visit to station 5 for each of our 6 athletes. And then we'll have one more rotation after we've had 10 targets. So another 4 now for Bartakova. Gets the first 2. And now reverse set. So you just see her making her call like that as well. 15 seconds is the allocated time. So Amber Rutter there, starting on the shot clock of 30 seconds. Managed to get her first 2 within that. Shot clock continues to tick down. This time she's only got 10 left, whereas Bartakova had an allocation of 15 seconds left. So it is important as well the athletes keep their eye on the 30-second clock shot, because you've got to take all 4 shots within that 30 seconds. Most of the time you'll find that the clock tends to get down between 20 and 15 for the first 2, like that, like Barkosi's just demonstrated. Clock shot now on 15, exactly where it was with Bartakova. And you find this kind of rhythm as well as you make your way through finals and just get experienced. It sounds like a lot of time, 30 seconds, but actually when you're out there to take all 4, the first 2 and then the reverse 2, you do feel the pressure. So Barkosi then makes it up with another 2 hits. I think just after another 2 clays had to be released, because sometimes they do come out damaged. In which case, if that does happen, then the athletes obviously have a chance to fire at another 2. Ah, there's a Martin, which is the mascot. And it's 31 degrees outside. It must be 131 degrees inside that suit, I think. So Bartolome with a first miss of this final, now on 9 hits out of 10. So Visma can now only hope to get up to 10, because there's 4 still to come. The first 2, one of which she misses, so now the reverse. And she has 15 seconds left in order to get those shots in on those reverse targets. You'll see the shot clock just there off to the right, and you see the way it's just reset to 30. So the athletes have got a pretty good view of it, but in all honesty, when you become so experienced, it just becomes second nature to you. Ooh, and Brava with another miss. So the best she can hope for now is 7 out of 10, which means the 1, 2, 3 will be tied. 10 targets for Bartakova, Rutter and Barkosi. And indeed she does finish that first visit to station 5, now on a total of 10. So after 10 targets, we'll now rotate back to station 3. And here's how it stands. It's Bartakova, Rutter and Barkosi, all on 10 out of 10, the perfect score. Meanwhile, Bartolome of Italy, Visma with the quota place already in the bag, representing Germany on 8 out of 10, and Stibrava of Slovakia on 7 hits out of 10. So we'll now go back to station 3, where we'll have 2 targets, first from left to right, and then also from the reverse positions, and then back to station 4, and then back to station 5. And after 20 targets, we'll have our first elimination, which will be for 6th place. And in terms of a shoot-off, we can only go to that stage for the gold and silver medals. Otherwise, if you're tied, you'll be eliminated on your bib number, representing your qualification status. So the world champion gets ready to fire. You'll notice there the shotgun just lowered, and those are the rules of Skeet. You have to make your call. The targets will be released from the high house that you can see on the left and the low house on the right. And now Barkosi knows now she faces a reverse. And goes for the low house first, destroys that, and then the high house just up above, and makes it another perfect visit to station 3. I wonder if that Martin going to give us a dance at least, or perhaps just wavering around trying to get some air through the suit. Meanwhile, the steely concentration of Amber Jo Rutter. 2 out of 2 there. Now for the reverse. Oh, and that's 2 world-class shots from Amber of Great Britain. So perfect scores for Amber Rutter and for Danka Bartakova. Here's Barkosi, the Olympic champion from Rio. Hits those first 2. Calls for the reverse. Bit of a pause in between the 2 shots, but gets them nonetheless. And the crowd showing their appreciation. 14 out of 14 for Barkosi. Great 2 shots from Bartolome. Now for the reverse. So Bartolome finishes that second visit to station 3, this time with 4 out of 4. So a decent total for 13. Still in the hunt for the lead, because that's tied between Bartakova, Rutter and Barkosi. Meanwhile, Visma now just needs to try and stay in the battle, because this is when a Skeet shotgun final can start to spread out on the second visits to each station. And a miss there. So 3 out of 4. So Visma of Germany has really had a successful day in terms of the qualification and therefore the quota place for the Paris Olympic Games, but Visma finds herself on 11 out of a possible 14. So Stibrava of Slovakia on 7 hits. Can she make this a perfect 4 and notch herself up to 11? Well, that's a great way to start. That's 2 out of 2. Now for the reverse. And indeed she does. There we are, 4 out of 4, so up to 11. So a little bit of a confidence boost for Monika Stibrava, now 34 years old. And we're back to station 4. And this time it's a reverse pair. Bartakova makes her call and turns those 2 clays to dust. For Bartakova, it's 16 out of 16. Can Rutter of Great Britain keep up the pressure? There's her coach, Permoen, who's applauding along with the rest of the spectators. And that's a terrific reverse from Boccozzi of Italy, also on the perfect 16. So you see there Nele Visma with the shotgun right down on her hip. And you have to have the shotgun there before you take your shot and also before you make your call. And you see there. And then once the clays come out and released, that's when the athletes raise the shotgun to take their shot. So just one miss then out of all 6 athletes on their visit to Station 4. That was for the second time. Now we go back to Station 5. And our referee just making sure that everything's present and correct. You see the baskets there on the floor. That's for the empty cartridges. It's always great to see the slow-mo shots of what's just happened there. The empty cartridges as the shotgun's cocked back and shooting out the shotgun into the athlete's hand and then padded away and down into the baskets with such grace and style and practice, of course. So Bartikova with 4 out of 4 once again. Is there any stopping this amazing shooter from Slovakia? So first miss for Amber Rutter at the second visit for Station 5. Let's see what she can do here with the reverse. So there's no target. So Amber just settles in again. And her shotgun there in those colours as well. She's had that for some years now. I remember first seeing it on her social media channel many years ago when she started using it, and it's always been a thing of beauty. So 3 out of 4 for Amber Rutter. Meanwhile, Boccozzi on the second visit to Station 5 opens up with 2 hits so far. And again, it's another 2. So Bartikova of Slovakia on 20. Boccozzi also with the perfect 20 so far. Amber Rutter, meanwhile, just with 1 hit. Sorry, 1 miss at that visit to Station 5. So she got 3 out of 4. Bartolome with a solid 2. So it means that she's safe on that second hit to make it up to 17. That is now on 18 with 1 miss there. And now Visma is putting the pressure on Stibrava because Stibrava can only get up to 16. So if Visma hits these next 2, then it means that Stibrava will be leaving this final in 6th place. So she'll know that that means survival. So 17 out of 20. There's Mr. Alexander Ratner, who is the president of the European Shooting Confederation. And Stibrava now knows that she's just shooting for pride. Up to 14. So 16 is the maximum total. Meanwhile, most of the other athletes are just making their way over just behind the scoreboard just to grab their next sets of ammunition. And just pop those from the boxes that were all weighed and sealed earlier on, and they'll pop those into their vest pockets and make their way back out to the field of play. So we have our first elimination from this final. Monika Stibrava, the 34-year-old from Slovakia, will be leaving this final in 6th place. Final score of 16 hits out of 20. And it's been a long, arduous and grueling day. It's a long qualification process. Also very, very tight. So competitive here in Oshek. And now this is shaping up to be a very interesting final indeed. So it's Bartakova, the world champion, who leads with a perfect score of 20. Bokosi of Italy also on 20. And Baruta of Great Britain on 19. Bartolome of Italy on 18. And Visma of Germany already with the quota place for Paris 2024 on 17 hits. And some great replays. It's just showing you how those clays just absolutely obliterated in the sky. Do we have a first miss there from Bartakova? We do. So first miss from this final. It shows that she is indeed human. So it's just Bokosi who now is on a potential perfect score. And Baruta already with one miss. That was at station 5 just a few minutes ago. If you are just joining us, this is the final of the Skeet women at the European Championships for shotgun. So Baruta knows now with 2 hits she's done so. Can now level up with Bartakova once again. So Bokosi can take the lead. And if she does get all 4 here, it'll be the first time we've had an athlete who's been a clear leader. So 2 out of 2 so far. Now the reverse. And another miss. So in terms of, as I said, another miss in terms of the other athletes. So first miss for Bokosi in this final, but another miss following on from Bartakova and from Rutter after her visit to station 5. So Bartakova on 23, Rutter on 23, Bokosi on 23 hits. So Bartolome also showing that indeed you can falter. A miss from the Italian, which means 21 is now the total. So Visma so far with 2 out of 2. And a miss there, so it means her total will now stay on 20. She had a chance there to level up, but it wasn't to be so far. So now we go back to station 4. So Bartakova with another miss. So pressure perhaps. I mean, it's very, very hot here in Oshek. It's around 30, 31 degrees centigrade. And that's another miss from Amber Rutter. So just signs that our athletes are literally feeling the heat. So 24 for Bartakova, 24 for Rutter. Can Bokosi go into the lead and hit both of those? Does so. So now on 25. So the second Italian in this final, Martina Bartolome, with Fabio Particiani, who's the coach, looking on. So Wismar of Germany hits both of those and is the last athlete then to complete the third visit to Station 4. We now go back to Station 5 for the third time. For a normal and then a reverse pair. Oh, 2 solid hits from Bartikova. And another 2, so up to 28. Pressure now on Amber Jo Rutter of Great Britain. Two out of 2 so far for Amber. Can she make it another 2, get up to 28? And does so. That's world class. And some whoops and claps and cheers from the great British team who are sat here in the stands. So 28 for Bartikova, 28 for Rutter of Great Britain. Can Barkozy stay in the lead? So the first 2, if she hits the next 2, that indeed will secure the lead going forward. And there's the Martin, our mascot, still just taking some chill time. Not surprised here with the heat that we've got in Croatia as well, being in a suit like that. So Barkozy with a miss. Interesting. Very interesting, because 3 athletes now back, locked and tied on 28. It just shows how heavily contested these skeet finals are these days. So close. Bartolome 25. Can she make this 27? It would certainly keep the pressure on the other 3 on 28. Does so. Again, world-class shooting. And now Wismar, who will be eliminated from this final because Bartolome hit that last target. So she's safe. Wismar can only get up to 26. So shooting for pride now for Nele Wismar of Germany. 26 years old now. Has had a great day getting to this final because it meant a quota place for the Paris Olympic Games. So with a total of 25, she leaves the competition in 5th place. But as I said, and you can see on your screens there as well, the 5 rings of the Olympic logo representing the 5 continents of the Earth. And it means that that quota place is safe and it's in the bag for Nele Wismar of Germany. So here's how it stands then. It's Bartikova of Slovakia, tied with Rutter and Barkozy, all on 28 hits out of a possible 30. As we go through now for another 10 targets. And this shotgun final, if you are just joining us, is hotting up. Everything you need to know is on the European Shooting Confederation website. Likewise, a link there to our YouTube coverage for all the finals over 11 days of competition. We're here right through until Tuesday, the 26th of September. So back to Station 3, we're already underway. And Bartikova with 2 out of 2. You can see just Rutter of Great Britain in the background there. Just intake of breath, just keeping calm. He's so experienced already, is Amber Rutter, even at 26 years old. So Amber shouts pull, and the 2 targets come out, and they soon become dust in the sky. So 32 for Bartikova, 32 for Amber Rutter. Barkozy knows now she can only stay level with the other two. It's made a decent start to keeping that alive. 2 hits, now the reverse. And nails both of those targets. So once again, it's 3 athletes all tied on the same score. 32 for Bartakova, 32 for Rutter, and 32 for Barkozy. Now Bartolome, the Italian, on 27. Best you can hope for is 31. And a miss there. Crucial. Her head goes back as well. She knows, Bartolome knows that's absolutely crucial at this stage of a skeet final, purely because the other 3 athletes in front of her are all on the same score of 32. So Bartakova begins this visit to Station 4 with 2 hits. And pressure now on Rutter of Great Britain. She must hit these 2 to keep up the pressure on the Slovakian. And a miss there. That's crucial at this stage. Pierre Moen, the British coach, looking over. Barkozy, meanwhile, with a solid 2. So Barkozy is also up to 34. And Bartolome now shooting at Station 4 and also hits those 2. So Bartakova and Barkozy are now tied on 34 hits as we go back to Station 5. Bartakova again to shoot first, wearing bib number 1. And that's a real decent, solid couple of targets there. 36 now for Bartakova. Shot clock ticking down. 10 seconds to go for this reverse. And has Bartakova missed one there? No, she's just making a call to say it was a hit. And it stands. So 38 is the total for Bartakova. Amber Rutter now steps up. 37 is the best she can hope for after this visit. So if she at least gets 36, then she's safe, because Bartolome can only get up to 36 targets. And with number 4, Amber there with a punch of the air, she knows she's safe and will make the next stage of this women's skeet final. So Barkozy again needs at least 2 in order to confirm her survival in this final. The chances of Barkozy missing certainly 3 targets would be very, very long indeed. So it starts with a decent pair of hits. Oh. I think there was no target there, so the shot clock has stopped on 7 seconds. So there'll just be another call. And the 2 clays are released. And she destroys both of those, up to 38. And that's Andrea Benelli, the Italian coach, just on the left there, punching the air. So Bartolome now knows that she will leave this finals. The best she can hope for is a total of 36, so she will leave in 4th. So we know the medalists. It's going to be Bartakova, Rutter and Barkozy. they'll fight it out for the medals to determine what colour will be presented to them in the medal ceremony later today. So there's our next elimination, and a cruel place to finish just outside the medals in this skeet women's final here at the European Championships in Osijek. Representing Italy, it's Martina Bartolome, who leaves in 4th place on a total of 36. So here's how it stands then going into the medal stages of this final. It's Bartikova who's tied for the lead with Pakosi, both on 38 hits out of a possible 40, and Amber Rutter of Great Britain on 37. Meanwhile, you just see on your screens there as well the logo for the Olympics for the quota place. That was awarded to Nele Visma earlier today because of her qualification progress and the quota places that had already been awarded to other athletes in other countries. So if you are just joining us, you've come at the right time because we're into the medal stages of this skeet women's final, and Danka Bartikova is already back to station 3, already has 2 hits and now faces 2 more targets. So no target called there, there'll be another 2. And you can just see Dunker as well, just following the sight line there again, just raising her flat palm up. Just because when this happens with the no targets, it can just disrupt your rhythm a little bit because you get so used to doing all 4 shots within the 30 seconds. But for athletes as experienced as what we're witnessing here, it's all in the day's work really. So Amber Rutter needs to keep the pressure on. She can get up to 41, starts with the first 2. And indeed gets those 2, so Rutter of Great Britain up to 41. So will we see any faltering from the Rio gold medalist? It's amazing to think all that time ago, isn't it, back at the Olympics in Brazil. But there was Diana Bakosi on top of the podium, receiving the gold medal. And has indeed missed. So yes, faltering has happened. It means now 2 of the athletes on 41. So Bartikova is now clearly in front on 42. Rutter of Great Britain and Bakosi of Italy both on 41. So great to see a battle on our hand at this stage of the women's skeet final. So it's Bartikova now back at station 4. Just settles in. You can see her trigger finger just pulsing there, getting ready. And 2 targets become dust. Rutter of Great Britain, if she's to hope for a gold medal, needs to keep the pressure on Bartikova. And there's a miss there for the Briton. So Amber notches up to 42. Bakosi of Italy is next to step up. And hits those 2, so up to 43. So now back to station 5. And this is to decide the bronze medal. At the moment, the bronze is the Briton, that's Amber Rutter on 42. Although things can change if we see some other misses from the other 2 athletes at this visit to station 5. Steely concentration of Bartikova. First 2 targets and 2 hits. up to 46. And just sheer class from Bartikova up to 48. It means that the gold at the moment could be going her way, but of course we do have to have another set of 10 targets to decide that. Stefan Zemko, her coach, delighted and was punching the air just to the lower part of your shot just there. Meanwhile, Amber Rutter, 2 out of 2. Can Amber hit these next two? And indeed does so, and that's up to 46. So a great visit to station 5 for Amber Rutter, 4 out of 4. She's just got to hope now that Diana Bakosi misses at least one, because Amber will then progress just based on bib number. So if Bakosi hits these next two, then she knows a silver or gold is hers, and Amber Rutter of Great Britain will take the bronze. And she's done it, 2 out of 2, 47 for the Italian. So Amber Rutter applauding the other two athletes in this final. Wearing bib number 2, leaves the field of play. But with a bronze medal for Great Britain, Amber Jo Rutter adds that bronze to her ever-increasing collection of medals. A great day for the Britain, and another bronze medal. So Danka Bartikova leads the way on 48 hits out of a possible 50. Meanwhile, Diana Bakosi, no surprise there to see she's in second position on 47. And it's great just seeing some of these replays back, and if you're new to shooting or new to shotgun, you may be surprised to see the athletes shooting with both eyes open, but that is indeed the way you were taught. It's certainly the way I was taught when I was a child. I think a lot of people think, oh well, it makes sense to close one eye. Well, perhaps when you're doing some practice targeting or just looking for sight lines, but certainly when it comes to actually shooting, both eyes on the prize. So no target called there for Bartikova after 2 hits back at station 3. And again, no target called for the second time in a row. So I think even Bartikova's starting to see the amusing side of this. This is where experience kicks in. You just don't let things like this faze you. So loads her shotgun up, just drops it into that hip position, makes the call. 2 targets are released and 2 targets are destroyed. So Bartikova on 52. Now Bakosi, even with 4 hits, can make this up to 51. So all pressure now on the Italian. So no target called again. So certainly in this stage of the final as well, this can be pretty disruptive to the medalists who are literally just looking to get on with things, because they know that they have at least a gold or a silver, but at the same time they're keen to know what colour it end up being. But such as the way sometimes with shotgun shooting it does happen. And those two clays also turn to dust, and we move on to station 4. So Bartikova, the world champion, steps up. One hit in front. Was on 52, no target called again, so that's the 3rd or 4th time we've had that since we've moved into the final medal stages of this final. And take a breath from Bartikova. It's been such a long day, and she knows just to hang on in there. It's been a long day, it's been very hot, even though the heat has started to subside over the last half hour or so. It's still hovering around 30 degrees. And that's 2 hits, up to 54. So Barkozy can only hope for a best total of 53 here. And needs Bartikova to miss. And the Italian herself has missed. So that's not good for her gold medal hopes. At the moment, Bartikova looks as if she will become the European champion. It's not over yet, though. If she were to take the gold here, that'll add to the World Championships a few weeks ago in Baku. It's been an incredible year for Danka Bartikova. She's been unstoppable. 54 is the current target. 4 targets to go. Hits those 2, unless, of course, we do go to a shoot-off. Because at this stage we can, when we're trying to decide gold and silver, a shoot-off is possible if both athletes stay on the same total. But once Bartikova hits one here and has done, then that means that the gold medal is secured. And I think she's just looking over just to make sure. Yeah, she's saying, have I? Have I? Am I a gold medalist? Am I European champion? And the answer is yes, because Barkozy can only hope for 56. And hits those 2. And now the silver medalist shooting the final 2 targets of this final. And manages to hit both of those. Takes a total of 56. It's just one shy of the total for 57 from this amazing Slovakian. Danka Bartikova is the European champion here in Osijek. A gold medalist and a final score of 57. What a great day's work for this incredible athlete. What a year she's had so far. The world champion has now become the European champion here in Osijek in Croatia. Meanwhile, it's a silver medal for Diana Barkozy of Italy on a total of 56, and fist pumps Amber Rutter of Great Britain, who picks up the bronze medal here in this women's skeet final. So the athletes now just lining up for the official presentation from the announcer in front of the crowd. A terrific final, so close in so many places, just a replica really of the qualification process. It's been so tight all day, but Amber Jo Rutter of Great Britain is the bronze medalist. The announcement's just taking place as I speak. Diana Barkozy of Italy with the silver medal, and the gold medalist, no surprise, Danka Bartikova of Slovakia. Also just to note as well, Nele Wismar of Germany with the quota place for the Paris Olympic Games. That finished up all because of the incredibly tight and competitive qualification process earlier on today. But it's a gold for Slovakia, a silver for Italy, and a bronze medal for Great Britain. So we'll be back in a few moments' time with the coverage of the skeet men's final here at the European Championships for shotgun in Osijek, Croatia. So we'll just leave you now with these pictures of the medalists after that terrific skeet women's final. We'll see you in a few moments when we're back for the coverage of the skeet men's final.